What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And, well, it looks like DOT is going the way of the FAA, which I totally agree with. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you're a pilot and you fly anywhere in the world, the communications that go on between the towers and the aircraft are in English, not any other language, English. Now, what I find interesting is DOT is now making it that all CDL tests, that's the test that you take as a truck driver, also have to be in English. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that and more right after this. Quick question. Do you know every website that has your personal information on it? Yeah, neither did I. Turns out there are entire companies called data brokers whose whole job is collecting and selling details about you. Your name, your phone number, old addresses, even family connections. They pull this from public records, social media, all sorts of random websites to build detailed profiles on people. I got tired of it. So I went and I tried Delete Me. They had reached out and they said, hey, we want to show you our product. And anytime somebody wants to show me something, I'll take a look at it. So here's how they work. They go out and they find all of these sketchy broker sites. And believe me, I'm going to show you in a minute, there's tons, where your info is listed. They then contact those sites and get your personal information removed. But it doesn't stop there. New information can pop up all the time. So Delete Me keeps monitoring for you and keeps those listings off so nobody has your personal information. It's like having a personal team fighting to keep your information private without you having to do all the legwork. So let me show you. This is my latest Delete Me report. You can literally watch the list of sites that had my info, right? And it just shrinks to where it says clear, 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 clear. Some of these sites I didn't even know existed. In full transparency, today's video is sponsored by Delete Me, but I use it myself. You guys know this. Anytime I talk about a sponsor on this channel, it's literally companies or products I physically use. But it doesn't stop there. You know, I'm sticking with this. I'm not getting rid of Delete Me anytime soon because of the value and what they've been able to do for me. So I'm sticking with it. It's made a real difference in how much my personal info is floating around online. And if that sounds like something that you want, go to joindeleteme.com/TK Garage for 20% off your plan. Now let's get back to the video. Again, major shout out to our sponsors, Delete Me, for sponsoring today's videos. So yeah, it looks like here, and I saw this article get posted the other day. All truckers, and it's right here, all truckers and bus drivers will be required to take commercial driver's license tests in English. No more Spanish, no Russian, no Chinese, no Hindi, nothing. No. If you want to drive a truck, a commercial vehicle in the United States, you're going to have to be able to read, write, and speak English. Sorry. All truckers and bus drivers will have to take their commercial driver's license tests in English as the Trump administration expands its aggressive campaign to improve safety in the industry and get unqualified drivers off the road. Transportation Secretary Duffy announced the latest effort Friday to ensure that drivers meet the federal requirements to understand English well enough to read road signs and communicate with law enforcement officers. Florida already started administering its tests in English. Administering. I don't know. They wrote that wrong. Currently, many states allow their drivers to take licenses and other license tests in other languages, even though they are required to demonstrate English proficiency. California offered tests in 20 other languages. 20 other languages. Are you kidding me right now? Duffy said that a number of states have hired other companies to administer commercial driver's license tests, and those companies aren't enforcing the standards that drivers are supposed to meet to demonstrate their driving and English skills. The latest enforcement comes just days after the Transportation Department said 557 driving schools will close because they failed to meet basic safety standards. Think about that. Not drivers, 557 schools. Jesus Christ. That's insane. That's insane. The department has been aggressively going after states that handed out commercial driver's licenses to immigrants who shouldn't have qualified for them since a fatal crash in August. A truck driver who Duffy says wasn't authorized to be in the U.S. made an illegal U-turn and caused a crash in Florida that killed 3 people. Other fatal crashes since then, including one in Indiana that killed 4 members of an Amish community earlier this month, have only heightened concerns. Duffy says truckers should be well qualified. States are expected to ensure drivers can speak English before giving them a commercial license. And then law enforcement is supposed to check drivers' language skills during any traffic stop or inspections. Drivers who can't communicate effectively are supposed to be pulled off the road. A recent federal effort involving 8,215 inspections led to nearly 500 drivers being disqualified because of their English skills. California initially resisted enforcing the English rules, but the state recently pulled more than 600 drivers off the highways. Duffy said that America wants drivers who can get behind the wheel of a big rig and be well qualified to handle those vehicles. But he said for too long, the problems in the trucking industry were allowed to rot and no one's paying attention to it for decades. I mean, for me personally, I don't want somebody driving an 80,000-pound truck that can't drive it. It's bad enough that you have drivers in California and even where I'm at home, where I'm in Nevada, right? You got people that should not be on the road at all. Can't drive. And now you're going to give them an 80,000-pound truck? Please. Duffy said, quote, "Once you start to pay attention, you see all these bad things have been happening, and the consequence of that is that Americans get hurt. When we get on the road, we should expect that we should be safe and that those who drive those 80,000-pound big rigs, that they are well trained, they're well qualified, and they're going to be safe. This campaign will also now expand to prevent fraudulent trucking companies from getting into the business while continuing to go after questionable schools and ensure that states are complying with all regulations for handing out commercial licenses." Duffy said that the registration system and requirements for trucking companies will be strengthened while FMCSA inspectors conduct more spot checks of trucks and commercial driver's license schools. Officials are trying to make sure that the electronic logging devices drivers use are accurate and that the states are following all regulations to ensure drivers are qualified to get commercial licenses. That's insane. Just insane. And they're also getting rid of like chameleon carriers. You've seen the videos on the internet where a driver will pull over and they'll change their information on the side of the truck, like put a magnet or something else over another truck to claim that they're another company. Unfortunately, that's a serious problem too. And they might have 2 different electronic logbooks. You know, they figured out they could do that, you know, like the old school way, just running 2 logbooks, which I'm not as opposed to a driver driving longer than they're supposed to if they can actually do it. I mean, we saw old school guys do this for years, right? But I am opposed to drivers. It's more the thing of you can't read the road signs. You can't communicate with an inspector when you get pulled over. You're a risk. You're a risk on the road, and you're a risk to hurting people just driving down the highways. An 80,000-pound truck and you can't handle it or read where you're going or know that a sign says X amount of feet it's insane. No. So at least something's being done about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.